Do you not like laughter, mirth, and merriment?
What are the devs supposed to do?
It.
You tell me what they're supposed to do.
There were a couple of things they could have done to delay the hearings, but they didn't.
Even if Biden gets elected, we've got like
I don't buy that whole like
3 months.
I don't buy that whole like impeaching what you call it. Like it would have like right now. Look, I feel like right now is such a delicate time. Like they shouldn't even be like they already know she's getting in. Like she's getting in. Cool. Use it as an opportunity to give your message about like, oh, this bitch is she's gonna give take away a women's right to choose, blah blah blah. Use it for that. Let people know what's about to happen and focus on the election. Like they're not stopping the fucking the Republicans from fucking doing their shady Republican shit. Look at all of the actual voter oppression that's going on in people's face across the country. They're not stopping these Republicans. The Republicans' whole thing is trying to win. That's it. Like we just gotta beat them, stamp them out. We get the Senate, we get the House, we get the presidency. We don't even need the judiciary. And if it comes down to it and they really become a problem, you just expand that bitch. Like it's
pack the courts.
Like I'm not even Amy's in. The Republicans want her in. They're breaking all kind of decorum to get her in. She's in.
All right, let's talk about it on the show. Chris, we're recording, so whenever you're ready.
Hey everybody. That was a little preview of something we're actually not going to talk about today. No, just kidding.
We're not talking about today.
That's for the paid subscribers.
That's right.
That's for the OnlyFans.
Mike, that's the wrong poster. We sending you.
Borat.
Wrong pod.
All right. So this is, of course, the Heroes Speak podcast. I am your host, Chris. We're here for a actual non-live, just a normal podcast. We probably won't do another live podcast. We might do a little bit on election night, but until then, it's just us having a conversation. We're going to talk a little bit of politics. We're going to talk a little bit of Utopia, Borat 2, and some other conversations. But with me today, I have wonderful co-hosts as always. I have James. How are you doing today, James?
What's going on, Kevin McAllister? Nice.
Yeah. That's a hint for a later conversation. Mike, how we doing, Mike?
Jinqui, great success.
What was that? I don't speak Klingon.
That's for the Borat fans.
Oh, okay. All right. And Keith, how you doing, Keith?
What up? Being black and mattering.
Mm-hmm. Just continue to do that for me, please. Thank you very much. So we're going to start. We're going to go right into the election stuff.
Hang on. Before we do that, I got to mention that Keith's got a change of decor. He looks like he's in an interrogation room today. What's going on there?
It's a little brighter. You get to see his beautiful face.
Room and figured, like, why not?
It's a step up, Mike. Come on, leave him alone.
What you don't see is the other side of this computer.
Oh,
Exactly. I think if we all turned our cameras around, it would be a big
why do you think I
mess.
put up my pretty little wall here? Because you guys were making fun of my dead bodies back there. So.
Like, it's the difference between an interrogation room and a torture room.
Oh, you got some shades of gray in there.
So I heard you guys have an election coming up next week.
You guys, did you vote in that same election, Bucko?
Yeah, people are talking about it.
I voted 7 times.
All right.
People like you, man. People like you.
Has anybody voted early? Is my question.
Yes.
Mike
I'm
has.
going to vote tomorrow morning.
You want to vote tomorrow?
You voted early too, Keith?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
good
I was
for you.
going to vote on election day, but now I'm kind of like, I don't want to risk all the other people that are waiting on election day, and it may be too much of like I'm hearing that like early morning, my local early voting location, like if I go there early morning, it won't be as long a line. but like the lines are like, yo, like people are really out there like early voting, but I just don't want to wait until like election day and it be even more.
Gotcha.
Right.
Because I feel like that's when all the Republicans gonna come.
Yeah, I heard on the radio this morning on my way to work that even my local area, which I've never waited more than 2.5 minutes to walk in the door,
Word.
at a 45-minute waits.
Oh.
And 45 minutes is light. Like
Yeah, exactly. I don't wait 45 minutes to get to work. That's not the traffic I live in. That's
Yeah, I've been seeing stories about up to like 5 to 8 hour waits and stuff. So
8 hours.
Yeah, I don't have the same experience from what I'm hearing. It's closer. I wouldn't say it's the normal 2.5 minutes. It's probably going to be 15 minutes tops. But I'm not
I
hearing
feel like your area.
Yeah,
my
my
area
area.
is going to be more people on election day because that's when the Republicans are going to all vote.
yeah, true.
Yeah, my area is a little bit different than the three of you guys. Which is why I want to do it in person.
I think my area is kind of 50-50. I've seen a few Trump flags go up. I've seen a few Black Lives Matters flag go up. Not really much Biden Harris stuff, but just like general left wing, gay pride and those kind of things are up there.
Gotcha.
But you got the thin blue line crap up here and there too.
I have that too. I have that on my block actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was surprised when I saw the new ones. I was like, I thought, because up until now, I think there was one house that had like, you ever see the thin red line version of the flag? It's basically the firefighter version of the blue line one. And maybe
who's against firefighters? That we
is that a thing?
It is a thing.
Is there?
I would rock one with the green line and go cash rules everything around me, and I'd be like
catch money line. That's the 50-cent flag.
Oh God, 62. No, what do you call
20 cent? 20 cent. You want to be 20 cent.
26 cents. Yeah.
So what's okay? You guys answer me this. What's with all the Ice Cube, 50 Cent? Oh, what's all with all these guys suddenly?
Who's that rapper today? Puddin' Pop? What's his name?
Little Plumber.
Little Plumber.
Is it Little Plumber?
Oh, honestly, I think the one with 50
Little
Cent.
Something.
Chris, I think the one with 50 Cent, to me, he's just trolling folks to get attention on his stuff, his products. Ice Cube's the one that scares me. I think 50's doing one thing. I think Ice Cube, Curtis Jackson is doing something totally different. And that's the part that I'm really disappointed in.
50 came out yesterday and straight out said, I don't support Trump. So
well, that's because he got yelled at. Like his
by
ex.
Chelsea, yeah.
His ex was like, no, you ain't getting nothing if you say that out loud.
Yeah.
Public shaming.
Shame.
I'll have your blackness shamed by your ex-white girlfriend.
Hey, he's hardcore, can't you tell?
So,
I mean, hey, look, love is love, but like, you should not be getting shamed by her.
Shout out to you, Keith. And I'm surprised I got it from you, not from Mike. That young Turkish video clip, but the TYT clip you sent me about Ice Cube.
your boy O'Shea.
That's actually one of the platforms that Mike's been following for a while, trying to get us into it.
Young Turks. I've been on the Young Turks.
I tried. I wasn't like.
I tried too.
They're a little bit too.
Has nothing to do with their views. I agree with most of the stuff they say.
It's their delivery. It's a little bit like the people that they have on are a little bit too self-righteousy. I kind of don't like them for that reason. But I lean towards agreeing with like the actual direction that they normally take issues. But just they're a little bit too much for me.
Yeah, I like the research they put in, not necessarily go off the cuff and go with their personal beliefs. But I like that clip you sent me with Ice Cube. I was like, wow, that's a very well put together little clip there.
And like you can't it's all researchable facts.
Oh yeah, they're good. They know what they're talking about.
There are certain hosts I prefer over others for sure. That just kind of have a more standard delivery. You know what I mean? Not
Yeah, I wish there were more like
yelling at you all the time.
Well, that's like this podcast. I prefer watching Keith than all the rest of you.
yelling works.
So, any election predictions for next week?
All right, so
I do not want to do that. You guys have a terrible.
Have you?
I do that.
All
I
right,
say
so
Biden 400, Trump 100.
I have no comment.
have you
No
seen
comment.
any of the numbers for the early voting? Like 50 million people.
Yeah.
They're close to
Nuts.
60 now. I think I heard 60 million early voters are in.
Yeah,
This
we're
is
already at like 25% of what entire 2016 was, or
Thank
higher.
you, caravan of illegals.
People like Mike that voted 7 times.
That's right.
Yeah, all the illegals from Canada coming down to vote and get.
Look, I'm only registered in 12 states, so it's fine.
Well, Trump's registered in a couple, right?
Yeah.
He's voting in Florida.
He actually went in person this time because I guess they gave him so much shit about him.
Okay.
So I know you guys have mentioned this earlier because I'm probably the only one that's actually going to go on election day. You really think with all the COVID spikes that, this weekend, people are still going to come out in huge numbers on Tuesday, the 3rd?
Oh, they definitely are.
Yeah, they definitely will.
It's not stopping anybody. I mean,
it's obviously not stopping anybody. Which I thought coming into the election season, I thought would have been a bigger issue. It's not stopping anybody. Like we're talking about 45 minutes and 2-hour long lines. Like people are literally standing on line for like 10 hours. 11 hours.
The videos you see of like Philadelphia waiting half a day.
This free country that we live in, where the right to vote is a right. People are waiting for 11 hours to give their exercise that right.
Look, certain things need to happen for sure. Like, I'm all for moving election day to a Saturday, or at least making it a national.
Just make it a holiday.
Make it a holiday.
Yeah, it's better to make it.
My company offered it as a floating holiday. Just like Columbus Day. And
that's good. I mean, you're lucky. Yeah.
It should definitely be a holiday.
Yeah.
If it is that you want more people to vote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really the heart of the issue.
Well,
the Republicans have not wanted more people to vote.
Oh no, definitely not. And really, up until now, it didn't seem like the Dems were pushing any. They weren't against it, but they weren't pushing for things to help it happen. I mean, It's one thing to do a holiday, but we have a country full of waiters and waitresses and clerks and shit who work every day, even on holidays.
Yeah.
So not only do we need guaranteed registration, we need mail-in options, better mail-in options, more drop-offs, guaranteed drop-off locations. Like this whole Texas thing of 5 million people with one ballot drop-off is stupid.
Ridiculous.
14 million.
That's ridiculous.
And their court upheld it. It was
I know.
And they're also like they're leading the entire country in COVID right now.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,500 cases in one day, and you want to be on a long line for one mail-in ballot?
It's sad that.
And that's what they're betting. They're betting that you won't want to do that. And people are actually like taking their bet all around this country. I'm actually surprised and very impressed.
Yeah, it's like when I was a kid, you'd see video of some country, some Middle Eastern country or an African country with people lined up, 50 miles back to vote. And, they would show us how awesome that was. And then we're just that.
With that now, like that's
one of the things Trump just said the other day in a speech. Like he wants us to be a developing country.
Yeah, we're not developed. We want to be developing too, like the other countries.
If he gets reelected,
fifth grade history, social studies,
and you will definitely find that out. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So he's been saying. He's gone on a couple of great stupid rants lately.
I love the other day he said if Biden gets elected, seniors will no longer have air conditioning.
Yeah, he definitely.
Hasn't he been talking about sinks and showers?
Yeah,
Does anybody
like
know exactly
he's
what
been-
that stuff is about?
He's been
Well,
saying
you know,
how like
toilets,
what
yeah, flushing toilets and all that stuff. Yeah.
suburban women have thanked him for the for
There
like
was an ad during The Walking Dead where he was calling Biden a zombie.
Ugh.
And he showed
Yeah, I
up, like,
saw that too. Yeah.
Well, and for anybody who thinks that we're just mad at Trump, you know, the biggest news is probably that his Secretary of State went on TV and basically said they gave up on coronavirus.
Gave up.
And
No,
it
it's chief of staff.
Chief
That's,
of
that was
staff.
the White House
Chief of
spokesperson.
staff, yeah.
And the Dow Jones said, "Oh, is that what's going to happen? Hey, hey, we don't like
900
that."
points. Boom.
So it literally, things they say, the things they decide not to do affect day-to-day things. Even some rich people are affected.
He's supposed to be the business guy, remember? He was a business guy that was better than Hillary with business stuff.
Mm-hmm. And I sent you guys that article that said we were worse off with our against China
China
trade.
deal? Yup.
Like,
I remember arguing this with one of my Republican neighbors about how the China deal was not what it thought it was. And they're like, what do you mean? I have guys that, I'm like, okay, what network are you reading? Oh, Fox News and the New York Post. And I'm like, all right, try with Wall Street Journal, which is also owned by those guys. But they don't BS the finance part.
right. Yeah, they come with you with the facts on there.
Exactly.
So during the debate last week, you notice how he said that China helped pay for the farmer bailouts. He totally misconstrued what the tariffs did and where the tariff money came from.
Right, exactly.
And that he tried to say that China paid those tariffs and those tariffs went.
He doesn't even understand how it works.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't even understand how it works. Like, we pay the tariff, stupid. We pay the tariff.
Oh, no, the thing is, he knows that. But he's not going to say that, right? He doesn't want, he's got to feed it to his base that.
Dude, I don't know it anymore. Like, we give him a lot of pass because he's a quote unquote successful businessman. But I don't think he really knows. I think he made his career with getting certain people with certain financial backgrounds to use his name to make their money, jump out when it suited them. You think he really understands the difference? I don't think he really
He's a
does.
professional grifter. Like, I think that's what he is. He's the world's best grifter. I don't know about businessman because his business acumen does not seem to be holding up to that title.
No,
So I feel like he's the world's best grifter, and we got grifted. And 43% of this country is still behind the grifter.
actually, we got grifted by a television series that put his name as this great businessman.
Yep.
And it fooled the entire country into thinking he was something he wasn't.
Thanks, NBC.
The cult of Trump,
Right.
the cult of Trump been building. It's been building before Apprentice.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember the hip hop culture used to embrace this dude in the late '80s and early '90s. Like, be rich.
His
like
name was
Trump.
heavily used to be like, I rub shoulders with Trump and Trump, and I'm like Trump. I got money like Trump.
Yeah.
So here's my suggestion, Mike. You go to TYT, tell them they need another podcast, another political podcast. They just gotta let us in on some of that advertising dollars, and we'll be a satellite TYT.
I can be the Rick Santorium to their.
We'll be the East Coast show because they're out in California.
That's right. They need some East Coast
So listen,
opinions.
So last thing I want to mention before we move on. So COVID is up again, you guys, in your country.
Yeah, it is. It's everywhere,
Like
especially in the
80,000 cases
Midwest.
a day. Yeah.
The Midwest is getting nailed.
So when you guys go out, make sure you're safe, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I know Newark got a spike recently.
Yeah. So
Ross Barack is shutting this, like he's not playing. The mayor, he's shutting everything down.
well, you're gonna have to again, unfortunately. So,
And that's what has to happen. Like, it's not even like these spikes now. Like, if the country is not going to shut down, like, altogether, is not, you know what I'm saying, and not going to have a unified response.
yeah.
This is what's going to happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the unified response that's the problem. Is some people wear masks, some people not. People fighting to not wear masks. People, and even young people going out into huge parties. You're seeing it all over the place.
Dude,
Yeah, we got Halloween coming up.
Mhm. Yeah, we're gonna set up like a little catapult, and we're gonna make kids stand in the street, and we're just gonna shoot stuff from the door. Gonna pelt them Hershey Kisses.
Pelted with candy. It's like Mardi Gras.
Your local PD is not watching this episode.
All right, so that's a little bit of our political coverage today. We're not gonna go too much farther than that, but it's political season. You got to do it.
Gotta do it.
Well, this pandemic brings us to our next topic, right? So.
Do we want to do? Oh, you want to do it? We'll do Utopia. That's right, because it's all somewhat related. So we're going to talk about Utopia.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no choice.
Knock that shit off.
Is the Amazon? It's called an Amazon original series, but it's actually not. It's based on a 2013 BBC, not BBC, TV4 British network.
British.
Yeah, show. So Utopia, a group of young adults who met online, get a hold of a cult underground graphic novel, which not only pins them as a target of a shadowy deep state organization, but also burdens them with a dangerous task of saving the world. Now, this stars John Cusack. I was so surprised to see John Cusack. He was so great in this.
Great to see him back in the fold of acting.
And then, it was good. It's a good twist to. He normally plays that nice guy role.
Yeah, but I like him when he gets that darker feel. Like, do you guys remember Point Blank?
I never saw it, but I know the movie.
Oh, that's my favorite John Cusack movie.
No, I haven't seen that one.
Grosse Point Blank. And then if you go way back into the 80s, he was he was always that teenager, but he was always a depressed like teenager, 20-something.
Right.
So he had a little darkness to him all the time.
Like High Fidelity. You ever see High Fidelity?
Yeah, exactly. Where's my $2? Wrong movie.
Who else? Rainn Wilson's in it.
Rainn Wilson.
I like him in that show.
He was really interesting. Like, he never felt like out of character. Do you remember seeing him? Was it Red or something where he was a weird superhero wannabe guy?
Oh, that was like a B movie he did.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna look it up.
I know the movie. But the thing is, like in this one, I didn't just see. Normally, I see him on TV, and the first thing I think of is Dwight, right, from the Office.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I actually didn't think of Dwight at all. Like he.
Oh, now I know you're talking about.
Different.
Virus.
Super is what I was.
Yeah, now I know you're talking about. I like.
No, he was good. I mean, what else are you gonna say? I think he did good. A lot of unknowns to me. I don't know how known they are to everybody else, but all of the cast, specifically, where is she? Sasha Lane.
There we go.
As Jessica Hyde. What did you guys think?
One more time, Chris.
Sasha Lane.
Did better.
Okay. What did you guys think of this poor broken woman?
I mean,
the Jessica Hyde character?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was interesting, especially at the end there.
Before we get to her character, something I wanted to pick up on, because I think, Chris, you tagged me on the very first episode when you watched it. I think you were the first guy to watch it, and you were like, James is going to love this Comic-Con reference. And how the entire thing was set up was based on a comic, this entire show. And I remember meeting a group of friends of mine. To this day, we're still in contact from the San Diego Comic-Con. And I'm like, they're actually on point with how it happens. You interact with somebody that you've never met before, all same, we like Star Trek or Star whatever it is. Then you meet in person, you get to really realize these guys are like, they might embellish who they really are in real life. And you're like, oh, you just do this. And then the one person was actually a kid pretending he's like some rich freaking actor. And, not to call anybody, friends of mine who watch this podcast, but it's exactly the impression I had watching that very first episode. And then things got really hectic with the assassin on the show. But I like the group of the characters that they had, and I like how they represented them in the beginning of the show. Jessica Hyde's a little bit different because Jessica Hyde wasn't a person from that clique.
Right.
Clearly, she was the main protagonist of the show, and her being broken down was in the beginning very interesting to see what exactly got her to that level. But as the show kept going along, I found her the least interesting character in the show, and I found more of the members of the crew or John Cusack's character in The Assassin or the gentleman from The Office as being the most interesting characters, and less of Jessica Hyde.
Yeah, I think the character, the setup for the character is interesting, but I don't feel like we've explored a lot of the character. I think you've seen her, you've seen the results of her, the world on her, and she did a good job with that, but I don't think they explored her inner workings very much.
Yeah, I mean, basically, if we want to summarize the show real quick, it comes down to there's a guy out there who wants to basically sterilize the world because he thinks it's overcrowded.
Well, okay, we're gonna call that the spoiler warning, because that you don't hear about to the last
episode. I'll throw it up before I do this part. So go ahead.
But I just want to let everybody know we're gonna spoil the hell out of this.
Yeah.
All right.
Full spoiler.
And
yeah.
So they're trying to stop him, right? So Jessica Hyde and her little band.
Was Jessica trying to stop him?
Well, I think she was trying to find
Utopia. She was trying to find Utopia, the magazine, and then trying to find Mr. Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
So the base of this is a really kind of fucked up show. We've had a lot of these lately. But the base is everybody's trying to find Utopia, which is a graphic novel, comic book, whatever, that basically lays out some secret plan with and all of the characters in it relate to actual people. Now, the most interesting thing for me that when it started is how, like when I was talking to you, James, was there was a whole group of people who were just like fans of this as a comic book. Apparently there was a Dystopia comic book that came out before.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting part for me. I wasn't sure how the show was going to build on this, but they really left that to like just the first episode or whatever. But it was really interesting to see that, it was just this group of people who looked too deep into this and turned out to be right.
Yes.
Like basically a little QAnon group.
Yeah. Oh, no. Don't speak.
It's pretty much that's pretty much the whole QAnon thing.
They're calling out a deep state plan by companies and the government to kill people, and they were right.
You were right.
That's the only difference. They were right.
Very important difference.
Yeah.
So, was there a specific part of this storyline or character that was a real surprise for everybody that not just stuck out as good and fun, but like just blew you away when you first saw it?
May I
go ahead, James?
Well, so one of the lead top billing actresses on the show was killed off in the second episode.
Oh yeah.
She wound up doing Happy Death Day, but she, I read afterwards she killed herself off the show with the writers because she knew she had gotten the role for that movie. So,
oh really?
Oh, is that what happened?
Yes.
Wow.
She was one of the actresses you've seen in B roles before that. So
yeah, you're talking about Jessica Rabbit.
To be the team leader.
Mm-hmm.
And they set her up as being like the leader of the crew until Jessica Hyde offed her off. And to me, I was like, "Oh, this show's going there. This show is."
Yeah, I was. That got me too. I was like, "Oh, they're not holding back."
Where I was like, "All right, anybody can get one off." So this show's interesting. That was the first moment of the show. I felt like I was really hooked, and you keep binging it.
Yeah, there was.
Keith, what about you? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that overall, like nothing really stuck out to me, but. I did like some of the character development through the season, like Arby, his change of heart and deciding to help Jessica instead of hunting her down, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that whole scene with him basically, he could have killed her, and he's like,
yeah. And I was
didn't?
surprised by. I was surprised by Dr. Stern's Rainn Wilson's wife being one of the like a plant, you know.
I was not.
No,
I don't.
Eric was already forecasting that. He was like foreshadowing. I was like, no, and then it happened.
Yeah, as soon as he started saying he was going to talk to the media, I was like, oh, okay, I know what's going to happen. But
no,
it's a good plot point that's how far back. Now, do you guys? I didn't look. Was Rainn Wilson always in that photograph? Because we saw that photograph like 4 times, and they're always pointing out people in it. And then he's in it the whole time, and I don't know if I ever noticed.
I didn't notice that.
I didn't notice it either. So I'll have to watch through it again and see. Yeah.
I rolled a 1 on my awareness in that one. All right, Keith, what about you? Was there an interesting or part that stuck out to you?
I didn't technically finish the season. I only got up as far as to when Jessica found out, or at least I don't know what happened after, but like when she found out at least that she wasn't the real Jessica, or that dude wasn't her father or whatever, some trash that she found out. But up until that point, I don't know, there was something that struck me about the guy that kid in the group who kept pushing back.
Oh yeah,
why are you there? Like, why'd you agree? So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what kept him going that like so far?
You're talking about the guy who fell in love with the black girl?
No. They're.
Maybe I didn't get to that part yet, but up until where I was in the series, like the white guy with the white kid with the red, I think he had like
that's his name.
He was pushing back against the whole thing, like
the character's name is Ian, I think.
He didn't believe it, what was going on.
Yeah, he's the skeptical one.
Yeah, but super, even when Jessica was threatening him and this, that, like you could see, like he just really was seething with.
Yeah. Okay. All right. You're right.
I don't believe any of this shit. Like
he ultimately falls in love with one of the girls in that group. Yes, I know you're talking about now. Yeah.
But like from that point until I guess I didn't get up to him falling in love with her, with whoever he falls in love with. But like it seemed like, why are you here, bro? Like
he was in it for the love.
Yeah, for her.
So he always liked her. I guess that comes out.
Yeah. So do you remember when they met at the Comic-Con and him and the black girl were running around and getting drinks and that continues and goes farther.
Yeah.
And he's basically in it for most of the time for her.
Okay.
And I think there was a conversation where he says, "I just like the comedy. I wasn't like I take it to the next level. I just thought, Batman was a decent character. I'm not
right." Yeah, I think he liked the puzzle aspect, and he thought that whole secret underground stuff was interesting. But I don't think he wasn't the Wilson guy.
Yeah, he had a stable job too, and all that stuff.
Yeah. So for me, the thing that really tossed me off, threw me off, sorry. The thing that knocked me off, I don't even know how I want to say it. It was just, it caught me off guard. That's what I'm trying to say. Was when they had the twins and they literally killed the one twin and switched her out for the other. And that I was just not prepared for that level of deep-seated evil. And it got worse from there. Like,
yeah, it did.
Then you started to see the background of them when they basically had a whole room of teenagers to fake social media events and posts They had a whole room of hackers to
This
create
is the
back.
part that I'm surprised Keith hasn't seen yet, but your mind start clicking back to that
Oh my God.
Dilemma Netflix documentary and this one construct within the show. You'd be like, see, you would marry those two. You'd be like,
That's right. So for like a couple of days after I watched that one show that Keith had us watch, The Social Dilemma, every time I made I had like an ad pop up, I kept seeing these two little guys in a room somewhere sending me a freaking ad.
yes.
I was like,
and then on during that scene where the girl gets killed, they're already creating a backstory, and they're sitting in a room creating like social media links to that stuff.
And they have, and they take phone calls, and they're bloggers, and they have names, and they come up with like a reason. What's the central story? You know what I mean? That was all scary. That was kind of
scary. Some photos of him at Harvard campus and how he didn't get the certain prize, and let's show that. Let's get some more likes on that. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it really they thought the whole show I felt was so well thought through. Like this whole evil corporation, evil background, world-ending plot. Just I didn't feel like there were any holes anywhere. It
Chris, you
rock solid.
The timing of this show versus the COVID pandemic, that's like
that's scary. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think I would probably give this an A-. I felt it was really solid. It just was a little freaky. The one thing I didn't care for was when they captured John Cusack's character and he basically just dropped the entire bad guy plot.
Yeah, exposition.
And it was just like, hey, I'm just going to explain the show to you in about 10. Just so you know it's all real. You know what I mean? So that was the only thing that I felt a little weak. A good twist, though, was that the Wilson, the one good guy basically said, "Oh, I'm switching sides now."
Yeah,
I thought that was a good twist. I liked that. I thought he was very susceptible to being talked into what
he was a simp, as a young generation would call him now. He was a simp.
Yeah, but then we also had the federal agent at the end turning out to be who she was, right?
Oh, and yeah, the Mr. Rabbit reveal being multiple people, and Jessica being what she is. She's like she's actually an experiment. She's not like being protected.
Yeah, they created a virus from her.
No, they tried them all out on her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought they incubated some of them in her, or something like that.
Maybe
they got that last episode got a little bit fuzzy with the science.
A little bit fuzzy, but yeah, Keith, take a look. You could watch the last 2 episodes and it really just explains.
I'm gonna watch the whole thing. It's just like so much stuff came up in between. Like
there's
a scene where John Cusack is on a couch and he gives you the entire exposition of the entire story.
Yeah, it's basically
watch the whole thing. Like I do actually find it interesting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know we spoiled it, but it's a good show, and we can't even explain what you're gonna run into. So.
Yeah, I give it a B. So.
B. All right.
I give it a B as well. Solid B.
Nice. Definitely
a little bit exuberant.
A recommendation.
You like Kellogg's, you like King Vitamin.
All right, that's a good recommendation for everybody. Go watch Utopia. And now for something a little different that might not get as much praise, and that is Borat 2.
Before we get started, does anyone want to get out?
You've heard of this. You've seen this, right? You know what that is.
It is unavoidable. It is your destiny.
Is this not why you are here?
Do or do not. There is no choice.
Knock that shit off.
No. No.
I enjoyed the film, so.
All right, so first, Borat 2.
Mike, you're cut from a different cloth, my brother.
Oh, I know.
Is the subsequent movie film by Sacha Baron Cohen. A weird. I had never watched the first one, and I still haven't watched the first one after watching the second one. Follow up to his successful 2006 comedy movie. a sort of real life adventure of a hapless reporter from Kazakhstan.
Yeah. So the premise of it is. So the premise.
I'm gonna hand this right over to Mike because this is his baby.
I'll give you a brief description. So on the first one, Borat is one of the characters SBC does. He started from the Ali G show that he had back in the UK. It was one of the characters. You had Ali G,
which was funny.
Yeah, Borat, and you had Bruno.
That was funny, Keith.
So Borat, the Borat character is basically a reporter from Kazakhstan, the number 4 reporter in all the country. And in this movie, he wants to go to the United States to learn
go back
more.
to the United States.
No. In the first movie, he goes to the States.
Oh, okay. In the first,
because he wants to expand his knowledge, and he wants to be a better reporter. And during the course of that movie, he sees Pamela Anderson on TV and falls in love with her and goes across California to try and get with her. And on the way, he stops at different parts of the country and he does his shenanigans, you know? Mm-hmm. And this time, it's basically the same thing. He's got to go back because I guess they're upset and he's got to make amends. They were upset with what he did the first time. So
yeah, he ruined his country's export system.
Right, which is pubic hair and what was the other one?
I don't know. It was lithium.
Potassium.
Thank you, Eric. Be quiet in the background.
Yeah, but this time he takes his daughter with him, right?
No. He does not take his daughter. His daughter gets shipped to him.
Took the chimp.
The gift was a monkey for Mike Pence,
who was the largest porn star in Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
Look, talking about the premise is funnier than watching the movie, in my opinion.
Facts.
You have to. So because he plays this, he's not just hapless. He really says some of the worst things you could possibly say on purpose to try to see how people will react around him.
Yeah, it was just interesting to see like a lot of his misogynistic stuff. The responses by a lot of the men on the film who are just like, "Oh, okay," you know.
Well, the woman in the dress shop.
Yeah,
he said something about what's do you have a no equals yes dress or something like that.
No means yes.
And the woman was like laughing her ass off, and he's like, for my 15-year-old daughter.
Yeah.
And she, like, I think that's what you're supposed to find funny.
So
is the responses of people to what is high ridiculousness to the point of almost offensive in some of the things.
Yeah, I get you. Like for me, the best part of the movie was when when the girl swallowed the little baby plastic doll. Did you guys see that part?
Yeah, yes, I saw that.
They went to the fake abortion clinic where the guy's supposed to talk you out of getting the abortion, and
the basically the religious clinic.
Yeah, and basically flipped the script on him. So I thought that was great.
Well, the guy stuck to his script. He said it doesn't matter that how we got here, because they were like, this is my daughter. I wanted to give her a gift, and now she's got a baby inside her. And he's like, it doesn't matter how it got here. This is God's plan, and and you're like, one response is to laugh at people like that. One response, which is my response, is to be really freaked out that people like that exist.
Oh yeah. And
not want to watch anymore. Now, I actually made it through the entire movie. I fast forwarded through 10 or 15 minutes of it. But it's not my cup of tea for comedy, but I know people who really get a kick out of it.
Like I could do without the
Jewish stuff.
No, that was fine too. Like I love because no. Why? Because
fired off the air.
No, let me finish.
I'm calling HR.
I love it because the way the women reacted to him when he was in the synagogue, and they educated him. Like it's not like he didn't know, but they saw him as just an ignorant person who needed to be loved and educated, and they did that, and that's what I liked about that scene. It was also like I can't remember her name, the black woman who kept
the babysitter.
The babysitter, right? She was great as well, and she wasn't an actress; she was a real person.
Yeah, but then I look at this and I go, why aren't these people calling the police? Like if a guy brings his daughter to your house using a dog clicker and a ball and chain and a shot collar, you call the police. You don't talk her into learning about reproductive rights.
When you go to a cage salesman,
yes, that's where
that guy
with your daughter, and it's obvious that the express intent of the cage that you're trying to buy is to house your daughter. It seemed like it didn't even look like it was a problem at all.
He didn't care.
What about when the dude was asking how much gypsies can I kill with this propane thing?
How many gypsies can I kill with this propane?
Yeah, so when you're watching the movie, you sit there and you just question: does this person know it's a joke? Is this person just trying to get through his sales day and isn't really paying attention, or does this person think this is okay? Like, you're just questioning the humanity. Let me
give you an example though, because at the debutante ball.
Oh my god! That was awful.
No, I don't mean that scene in particular, but there was one point where he talked to the guy and said,
and he got quiet, like,
how much you think I could get for her? And the guy says 500 at least. And his daughter, the other guy's daughter, turned to him and said, "Fucking gross, Dad." That he would actually say that, So she called him out on it, right? And
but the guy said it.
I know. That was crazy.
Keep in mind, and actually, it was this in the movie that kind of like brought me to a little bit of a sense that it's a production.
Yeah,
like. There was a scene in a men's bathroom, and one of the dude's faces were blanked out.
Yeah, there was one guy.
That means that he didn't sign the disclaimer.
That's right. Yeah.
I've been on those sets. Like everybody, like background people, everybody whose faces might show up, and they have to sign off to so.
But it's either that or he's
so everybody who was in that movie that you saw.
No, it could be
except Rudy Giuliani.
But it could be also that he specifically said, "Do not put my face in this movie."
Well, I think
Rudy, you don't say it like those things.
It's a sign of form.
I know those are actually like those are shock video kind of things that he's taping.
Yeah,
release form.
After the release forms have to be. It's not like whoa. Like, don't use I can't use your image unless you.
I know how the law. I know the rules.
So it's not like I opt out.
Right,
like I have to opt in.
I know the rules on that. Yeah, you have to sign.
So everybody in that very candid movie, whose face we saw, signed off to so. So like it changed.
I don't necessarily agree with you. This is why I'm saying
you can't just show people's faces without that sign off.
Yeah, but you
even if it was after they did that scene, they could not make money off of that. They can't.
Yeah, but that's why the first movie had about 200 lawsuits after. So
so they're going to do the same thing with this one?
Yeah, right now he's got lawsuits on this one too. So that's why I'm saying I don't necessarily believe he went and got released.
From what I know, guys, from what I know is if you have
people that he's specifically talking to,
if you have any speaking part, you need to sign a release form. You could be in a background shot.
Yeah,
I think so. That's the great part where it's like, well, how long were you in that background?
If your face is discernible for 3 seconds or more,
there's a time duration. Yes.
Whether you're talking, whether you're in the background, if it's a side shot, nope, I don't need a release from you. If I can't determine who you are for at least 3 seconds, then you don't need to sign a release.
Okay, so
at the very minimum, those people who he was speaking to They signed releases.
Yeah, probably.
They signed releases.
He went into the that was the first.
Okay. Let's do
So
this.
they
Let's
thought
do this.
nothing was like they thought nothing
Well,
was.
I'm just gonna ask you though, real quick, because he went to that festival and got up on stage and sang that song. I don't think he got those people in the audience to sign releases.
Yeah, but they
if you're in public property and you're not in the speaking dialogue,
okay,
you do not have to sign a release form.
And if that already
does that include weddings or church services?
Yeah, those are still technically private.
Okay. So let's do this. Who do you think came off the best or worst after watching this? Pick one. Like this person, like do you think
Rudy didn't come out too good after this movie?
Yeah, I would say it did the worst for Rudy. I didn't even see that part yet.
I didn't get to that part yet either.
Yeah, but
he that part yet. But I know about that part.
What about
but I know about it. Like that right there says that was the worst person.
Oh yeah, by the way, CPAC is suing him for this movie.
Yeah, because he got into CPAC. Though nobody did anything in CPAC but kick him out, so he didn't really get anywhere.
No, I love that he wore that Trump suit and was yelling at Pence.
Honestly, the people who surprised me the most were the stupid QAnon guys.
Yeah,
they had stupid theories, but at no point did they say things like, "These people don't have rights. We all have rights here. The women can think for them." Like they surprised the hell out of me.
About that? Because I swear they said that the Democrats should have less rights than
they should have less rights, but they never said they do. They said they should.
Right. Why is that? That doesn't make it better.
They came off better than I think I expected
QAnon is
them
not
to.
a political. They're like QAnon is more so about the conspiracy theory of like.
They weren't just QAnon guys.
They were definitely.
They were Trump supporters who believed in QAnon stuff. It wasn't the basis of their support.
Right.
But they also were heavy Fox News watchers and things like that, right? So,
but like I said, when he pulled out the book of how women are treated in Kazakhstan, they were like, no, that's not how it works. And I was I'm not saying they look good. I'm just saying they surprised me. They were better than I expected.
Apparently there was a lawsuit that just got thrown out on the 20th from a Holocaust survivor that's in the movie. I haven't gotten to that part yet. But she claimed that she did not know she was in a satire of a movie that was mocking the Holocaust and Jewish culture. So
that means they threw it out because she signed the waiver.
Yeah.
She signed the waiver, and what she was trying to do is get out of the waiver.
Yeah. Okay.
Because she realized she looks like a fool.
Yeah. Well, the whole movie starts off at that as.
I don't know. I gotta see which woman you're talking about.
Yeah.
Like I said, in the synagogue, those two women were fantastic. So I don't know.
Judith Dem Evans.
Okay, I don't know which one it is. But.
Okay, so I'm gonna give this a D, a straight D.
Straight D.
Giving it an F on arrival. I'm not even done yet.
I didn't finish it. So I'm not gonna grade it.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a C. It's not. So, like I said, I could do without just the regular nonsense like goofs he tries to do, like at that debutante ball, right? But I enjoy the more politically toned stuff he tries to do. So
I don't understand. Like, I guess it's supposed to be like this movie with a story and it goes somewhere, but I wasn't sure. Like, is that something I'm supposed to enjoy, or is it supposed to be this political pranking of these people with ridiculous views? Is that more like, do I need all the other stuff to get to that?
I think it's the latter, because in the first movie, the overall plot is supposed to be, I'm going to California to get with Pamela Anderson.
Yeah, I enjoyed the first
nothing, you know?
I enjoyed the first movie a lot.
Huh?
I enjoyed the first movie. I had a great time watching it in the theaters and being gross at that one scene with him and the dude. To me, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
But that was like 2006.
Right.
Different mind state back then.
Well, the thing is, I wanted to see what else he would be able to pull off now that everybody knew who Borat was, right?
Yeah, but he did a little sketch show where he did the good part of this, and he created different characters to do those Rudy
This Is
Giuliani
America,
interviews.
right.
Yeah, that was like a 10 times better version of this without all of this horrible fluff.
Yeah.
So,
By the way, I saw his interview. He had an interview with Desus and Mero. They came over this weekend on their show.
Yeah.
And even that wasn't funny. Like they were trying to like set up some softballs for him to talk about some stuff. It just seemed like he was trying hard to be that Borat character. It just seemed dry. And they were like, hey, you know, if you want to one neon sign at the bodega, what would it be? And he's basically read the entire cash line for his movie. And then he goes, can I take some shits now? And I'm like, oh damn, this is so not funny anymore.
Yeah, it's getting old, right? So like I agree with you, Chris, that some of the new stuff he did on This Is America, those characters, like the one, wasn't there like a Krav Maga guy or something, or he was going for training or something. That guy was funny. So I think
that it's just a bit more interesting version of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because if the point is to get the people's worst views out in the open as kind of your grift, then that's a more interesting way to do it.
Yeah,
I think. All right. Well, I mean, everybody's gonna like it their own way. Unfortunately, it just doesn't hit with this podcast the same way.
Yeah, Keith, I definitely want to hear like next week or something if you get to watch it this week.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna finish it.
Let me know what you think. Yeah. You too, James. I know you only watched like 2 minutes of it. But...
I'll finish it.
All right. Well, we had this conversation we started on chat where we were talking about, and I made an opinion that got called out pretty harshly, if I do say so, by Keith about my favorite comedies. And
no, that wasn't what I was calling out.
Okay, what were you calling out? Because I think you were making fun of me
finish your rant.
Well, we're gonna talk about some of our favorite comedies, and we're gonna hopefully give a recommendation for a Halloween holiday comedy, scary comedy thing that people could go watch just to get in the season. But we were gonna talk about our favorite comedies, and I said something of I can look up the
comedy styles, because we started arguing about
what it was that you said you can't stand Will Ferrell.
yes, I hate.
That's what it was.
You're right, and I will stand by that. I do not like generic Will Ferrell movies. I do not want to watch a giant man-child run around in his underwear anymore, whether it's Borat or whether it's Will Ferrell.
Streaking.
Well, so that kind of falls into the category then, because you got Will Ferrell, you got Adam Sandler, you had
Chris Farley. That's some of his earlier work.
I don't go back.
The same.
I don't go back and watch Adam Sandler movies either. I don't want to watch
Chris. That's
Little
not
Nicky.
Will Ferrell now.
I don't want to watch Little Nicky. Hey, his last one.
Little Nicky was terrible.
I'm not a big fan. And Mark Wahlberg. You seen that movie of Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell?
The Other Guys. That's a good movie.
No, that was terrible. That was boring.
I enjoyed that movie.
We got
especially
dude, the movie where with Mark Wahlberg's the ex-husband.
I just said, Keith. Yes, thank you.
That movie is hilarious, and what's even more hilarious is the next one with the fathers of them.
Yes.
Oh no, he's talking about James. Okay. He's talking about not The Other Guys. He's talking about the Christmas.
No, it was when he dated Mark Wahlberg's ex-wife. And then he was like, whatever it's called, stepfather, my dad, my other dad.
Yeah. I was talking about The Other Guys when they played cops.
Mark Wahlberg shows up, he's trying to get his wife back and his kids, and Will Ferrell's the dad, the stepdad.
Right.
That movie.
That was okay. No, but the one
he wasn't running around in his underwear.
No, the one I was talking about was The Other Guys with him where they were playing the financial cops.
Oh yeah, with
the Other Guys was
Sam Jackson was like the main cops,
and Rock,
the other guys.
That was funny in the beginning, and then it just deteriorated once they got rid of the opposite set of cops who were awesome cops against these jerky stupid guys. That was a funny comparison, and then
The
they killed
Legend
those
of
guys
Ron
off.
Burgundy, hilarious.
Yeah, Burgundy's good.
Old school, hilarious. A classic. Old school, hilarious. Step Brothers, hilarious. Talladega Nights, hilarious.
Dude,
Like
fire.
Like, you're like, it's like, if you don't like what, like, do you not like laughter, mirth, and merriment? Like, good lord.
Laughter, mirth, and merriment.
Oh man, I
No,
told
he
you.
had misses that Keith didn't
Classics.
mention, but everything Keith said, fire.
So what about Jim Carrey movies then?
I liked him when I was 12. I
Those are
mean,
the last good hit that Jim Carrey gave us.
tell me you go back and you watch what? No,
Ace
I almost
Ventura. Ace
said
Ventura.
Ace Ventura. Is that's like 12-year-olds comedy now?
Also watched the basketball one he did.
Yeah, I'm not really. He's not like a go back.
I'll watch Dumb and Dumber. I love Dumb and Dumber.
He went
Dumb and
into
Dumber,
the
I
like
like that.
he went into the family comedy level, and he started leveling up and being a real actor and that kind of stuff.
When he
And
started
that-
getting serious, it kind of trailed
Serious.
off for me.
He tried to do his Tom Hanks thing, and it wasn't in his bag.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's
But,
a good
like-
actor. He's a good actor, but just not Tom.
But like
Hanks.
classic Tom Hanks comedies, I can still watch. Big
yeah,
biggest.
big.
Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Splash.
So the
Classic.
examples I gave for my favorites was
Classic.
like Clue. Clue is one of my favorite comedies. I can watch it forever, over and over and over again. What do you guys think?
Movie.
What do you think guys think of Clue?
I mean,
It's okay. I mean,
it's okay if you're like a 70-year-old. Like
That's
that
like
would be like
stuff
your
about Abbott
favorite.
and
Like,
Costello.
like Jackie Gleason's my favorite comedian. Like, girl, like that's.
Have you guys ever gone back
how
and
old are
watched
you, man? Like,
Buster Keaton or any of that stuff?
I watch Abbott and Costello around the holidays. Yeah,
My father-in-law watches that, and that's fine. I don't mind watching those guys.
he's a
But
cool dude,
like
your father-in-law.
literally Buster Keaton. Have you gone back and
Not
watched
that far back.
Buster Keaton?
No.
It is. I love slapstick. It's one of the reasons I love Jackie Chan movies so much, because he like incorporates my favorite things of slapstick and kung fu together.
I was gonna say, give Jackie Chan a little more credit because there's some skill to
Oh no,
slapstick. whereas
he's
the
amazing.
Three
That's
Stooges
why
is
he can do it.
Like
That's-
the Three Stooges, you watch them when they come on late night,
you don't
5 minutes.
you don't like what Will Ferrell does, but
Yeah, you walk right into
grown men slapping themselves, slapping each other.
I don't
And the-
have.
like,
I don't own like a.
That's fine.
I don't own a box set of the Three Stooges. That's not something I will go purposely watch. It's funny, it's fine, but it's not what I choose to watch when comedy comes. But no, I told you guys I was going to tell you my favorite comedy bit of all time. Thing that kills me every time I watch it, and none of you guys could guess. But I gave you a hint already exactly what my favorite comedy bit of all time is. And it's sitting right in front of you right now.
Home Alone.
Home Alone, when Joe Pesci is trying to break into that whole scene, I
What's your
die
favorite
laughing.
comedy?
My favorite comedy bit is the whole break-in section of Home Alone with Joe Pesci is my favorite. Die laughing, crying of all time. I don't know why it gets me every time. Joe, the whole gang, the way they handle it, it is the funniest thing to me. I told you were going to make fun of me.
I could
for
name
it,
like
I
at
love it.
least 100 million funnier
100
scenes
million.
than that
No.
see,
I'm
but, comedy
in comedy
right?
movie. In comedy,
Like I can watch Jerk. You can go and watch Beetlejuice. Has some great scene. There's tons of great comedies out there, but that scene, I told you, I have no reason for it, but it gets me every time I watch it.
You're a huge fan of that movie.
Is it a-
take
I love
Yeah.
the movie. I think the movie lasts. It doesn't
It's a good
go
movie.
bad.
It's a good movie. It's John Hughes, right? So
It's
But it
one of the
doesn't
top
make me
grossing.
laugh
It's one of the top
anymore.
grossing holiday movies of all time.
yeah.
Like, I
Okay.
don't laugh anymore when I hear it.
You,
But watch it, I should say.
Okay, so what's your guys' favorite
was the
comedy
top
bit in a
grossing
movie?
hip hop artist of all time? Doesn't make him great.
Wait, what was that?
Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I watch all kinds of comedies, and it's subjective, so it's hit or miss for me. It's not really a style of comedy I prefer or another. Like, I watched City Slickers again the other day, and I forgot.
I watched that the other day. It was good.
Funny that movie is really funny. So
I'm a new content kind of person. It's like until I've exhausted all new content, like I really don't dive backwards like that. Like,
no, it was just on TV.
I'm not a big
I was just watching it, right? So it's not like I searched for it. I was browsing.
And to Chris's point about the bits, though, like, have you seen Coming to America?
I love Coming to America.
Movie,
Coming to America is a fantastic movie.
That break-in scene is better than the is funnier than the barbershop scene. Is funnier than.
I think
I can name a million scenes. Like I can name 5 scenes in this one movie that's better than that one scene. Like,
I can watch Coming to America and I'll laugh, but I will not laugh to the extent I laughed at that scene. It's that simple. Like I can tell you Airplane is a better funny movie.
I love that movie.
I don't fall down on the floor laughing over Airplane.
You fall down on the floor laughing.
I'm telling you, every time. I can't help it.
First Naked Gun as well.
Joe Pesci getting a flamethrower to the head. You know, what's his name? Stepping on the nail.
It's a cartoon come to life.
Slipping on the ice. It is every time. That whole scene just gets me.
Hate Will Ferrell movies?
I do. I can't stand Will Ferrell.
He's the man child.
Slapstick is not necessarily man-child movie. Those two are completely different things. They can go hand in hand, or they can be different.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I like all kinds of comedy, and it's just hit or miss for me. Like I like the first Wayne's World movie. So
yes,
which one? Wayne's World.
Mm-hmm.
What about like I went back to go watch
definitely Wayne's World.
What's his name? The spy one. Austin Powers. And I thought it dipped a little bit. It's still funny, but it's not as good as when I first watched it. It didn't hold that same.
No, by the third one, I think it was getting a little ridiculous for me. So,
but I will say, like, there is like those movies, Spaceballs, Princess Bride,
History of the World.
Like, yeah, there is definitely a special place in my heart. Like, they are in my pantheon of like good comedy, especially Spaceballs. I love.
Oh yeah,
that I can rewatch.
Mm-hmm.
I love Spaceballs. Like, yo, that's joint.
But do you guys have a thing that makes you laugh every time you watch it, no matter how many times you've seen it? It just hits you in that spot.
I love Airplane. Those Airplane series to me still crack me up.
And Naked Gun.
And Naked Gun.
But that was pretty much just Airplane.
My favorite part of the Naked Gun is when what's his name, O.J. Simpson, gets stuck and he's under the car.
What's his name? That guy.
He gets stuck under the car and they're going down. They're in the car chase, and he's got the beeper on him. Oh, and they're chasing him, but he's under them.
Under the car.
Dude, everything that Leslie Nielsen did to carry that.
I love that bit.
Yo, and that time,
Rest in peace.
Leslie was winning.
That's a class. That
Leslie was winning.
He was.
That whole thing is still funny. I find that whole thing so funny. Caddyshack is great.
Mm-hmm.
Little Shop of Horrors. Anybody's Little Shop of Horrors?
I love
that. That was on my list of Halloween scary movies that were comedies, by the way.
Oh, okay. So let's do that then. Since
on my list.
Little Shop of Horrors is definitely on the list.
So you guys, I want at least one. Give me a Halloween theme or a scary theme or a horror theme comedy. Anything with a murder or anything like that will work. So I'm going to let James go because he obviously had something else.
I had a list, although I asked my wife. I made a mistake asking my wife, and I totally disagree with her list.
Pick one.
But
start with one, and we can do lists after.
All right, I'm going to start with Gremlins.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'll start there. Boom.
I
That's
usually
my
watch that. I usually watch that around Christmas time, though.
number one draft
It's
pick.
also Christmas. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see that too.
Yeah, they mix and match. It's fine.
So
All right,
mine's gonna be Ghostbusters for sure. 84 Ghostbusters.
Nice.
Good
Good
one.
number
Good
two
one,
pick
good
there.
See, and
Fancy.
those guys, by the way, they had their own kind of style for their movies too. Like we talked about Lampoon's Vacation with Chevy Chase. Those guys, Chase and Bill Murray and you know, all those writing comedies. They have their own kind of style, which I find hilarious too.
I think one of the things that helps
Rival.
them. Sorry, I'm gonna let Keith go, and then I'll talk.
Oh no. I actually a Halloween one. Scary movie.
There you go. That's good. That works. That
Scary
was one of
movie's a good
the.
one.
That was one of the last ones before they got. See, and that's what I was gonna say. Is one of the things that protects some of those older movies is they weren't reference heavy comedy. Like when we were watching the Karate Kids with the kids, one thing I noticed is that, you know, Mr. Miyagi has a few funny little jokes he tells, and not a single reference to the outside world or to pop culture or to anything to age those movies. And then you watch something like Deadpool is hilarious, but I can't imagine Deadpool being as hilarious in the future because it's so reference heavy. How long is it going to last?
Yeah, I get you.
So mine is going to be Evil Dead Part 2.
Ooh, good one.
So I'm
love
not a
the
big
whole of
horror
Evil
movie
Dead.
fan, but the trajectory of that movie going from straight horror up into comedy is so fun. It's a great ride.
Oh, I definitely agree.
So do you guys have another pick you want to go with? Because
I've got another one.
go ahead, go for it.
Mars Attacks.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Oh man, I haven't seen that
Ah,
in a hot minute.
family friendly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There it is.
Hilarious.
All right, Mike, what do you think?
Actually, I don't really have a second one.
That brings me back to something like Hocus Pocus or something.
There you go.
My wife picked. She picked all these kid ones. Hocus
Okay,
Pocus.
you got me family friendly now. Like, so I'm thinking of those.
All right, so I had the list.
I think she picked Casper too. the animated real life Casper movie.
No.
You guys don't remember that one?
No, we remember that one. That was fun.
Yeah, I remember it.
All right.
Oh, you know what? I'll take
Beetlejuice.
Adam's Family. The
Beetlejuice.
Raoul Julia.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice. That's on the top of the list.
Beetlejuice
Top of
and
my list. Top.
like Mike said, Adam's Family is a great pick.
Mhm. The
Yeah.
first one, yeah, it was great.
All right. So I got a list here. Beetlejuice, Scary Movie, Clue. Clue.
You said that before.
The Goonies is on this list. Now, does that
That's
happen
a
during
Halloween.
Halloween?
I could see that being a Halloween favorite.
You could still do it.
Okay,
Uh,
I'll allow it.
Little Shop Wars. Buffy the Vampire Slayers. Do you guys remember that movie?
Yeah, I remember that movie. That wasn't really too
barely.
funny.
Yeah, I feel
It's all right.
I tossed that one.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. Classic.
That's a
I got
classic.
one more. Let me know when you're ready for me.
Go for it. Let me hear it.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh, there you
I'm
go.
with you.
Haunted
The whole
Haunted
Cornetto
Mansion
trilogy,
with
really. The
Whoa.
Cornetto trilogy is good.
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion with Eddie Murphy. If you want family friendly.
Yeah. I didn't have that one on my list, but I did see
remember
that
seeing
one.
that.
And I think we've named all of them. Army of Darkness. I said,
Mm,
so you got to do Army of Darkness if you're going to do Evil Dead 2.
yeah.
There's one that I wasn't sure about, but it had John Goodman in it. Arachnophobia. Remember Arachnophobia?
Dude. So when I came out when we were in college, and I have a little touch of
College. That was
arachnophobia.
1990. You were not in college then. Yeah, dude. Arachnophobia came out in 1990.
It came out in 1990?
Yeah, you must have seen it when you were in college.
To see him when we were in college. Well, we rented it and we were all sitting around in the college dorm. Like they had the big open dorm area. Everybody could sit in, watch the movie together. And we're all sitting there and the lights are off. And there's this one moment where they just send that big friggin' spider right at the screen. And I freaking flipped out.
Quirky.
I didn't think that movie would have been a comedy when I first watched it.
I'm sure that went over well with the ladies.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't spend my college years trying to be cool. I was just drunk. So
There you go.
Drunk is its own cool.
that's right. If you can down that much liquor, you get enough.
Yeah, Arachnophobia was a weird type of comedy horror movie. Stand by film.
Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I thought about that one. I did. I didn't put it in my list, but I thought about
You
it.
guys aren't a fan of Young Frankenstein?
It wasn't funny enough. It was cool, but not. It wasn't like slapstick laugh, you know.
I think Blazing Saddles is better than Young Frankenstein. So
Well, yeah. Every comedy writer is going to have levels of
yeah.
good. Like Men in Tights is like the low end of Brooks's career. Have you guys ever seen Cabin in the Woods?
I did see that. That
I'm
wasn't
told
comedy.
that's a comedy.
No, it's not. Who told you that crap?
Okay.
That's like saying Lake Placid and those alligator freaking movies are. Or remember the old '80s, the flying fish piranhas?
Well,
Oh my God, yes.
Because they did stupid stuff. So you laugh at it, but it's not meant to be comedy. It's just
Right.
because they got Tremors on here
It's
too.
unintentionally funny. Yeah.
yeah. There you go. Thanks, Mike. Unintentional comedy.
Yeah.
Well, then you could do.
Spawn was the name of that one with the flying fish. And Spawn.
Called Fawn.
Spawn and Spawn 2.
Oh my God,
Jeez.
dude.
There was a couple of them.
Well, they
Right.
did some Piranha movies recently. Piranha 3D and all that. Few years
Yeah,
ago.
but then they started getting to Sharknado territory.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, well, my top of that list would probably be Clue and
Yeah, I got Beetlejuice, Gremlins, and Shaun of the Dead.
Beetlejuice. Yeah.
My top three.
So those are all great ones. I think, especially for all of us who don't want to sit down and just be freaked out by the movies you're watching. If you want to be freaked out, watch Utopia. That shit's freaky.
Eric, what's your favorite comedy horror movie? Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, so Eric says Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's
Okay.
a solid.
Good choice. Yeah.
Solid. You could do the Bride. What's the one? The Corpse Bride.
Yeah.
And Norman. What's his Norman movie?
Frankenweenie, whatever.
Frankenweenie.
Frankenweenie.
I think it's
No,
There's like three
there's
movies,
Another
like-
one. Yeah, there's another one that's similar. I think it's better actually.
yeah, I think it was called Norman something.
Norman. Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, at that point, you start doing Coco. Now we're getting like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're getting overkill. You can say The Karate Kid. There was a very famous Halloween moment in that movie.
There is.
It's a mad stretch.
Well, okay. So we don't go to 11 o'clock again, since I'm an old man and I need sleep.
And that just isn't rational anyway.
This is the youngest guy here.
Am I? Am I younger than
Yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, you are.
Barely.
Talking
By
about
like a
college,
year.
being in college in '90.
I'm like, nah, dude.
No, it would have been 94, 95.
95. You started 95, yeah.
It's funny. It's funny because like when he said like I was in college, I was like, I could swear Arachnophobia came out when I was in high school. I was like, how old is this?
I guess I just I must have just been where the first place I saw
The
it.
first
then.
time we watched it on video cassette.
On
There
video
you go.
cassette.
There you go. Remember that stuff, guys? Damn.
Yeah, I had a
Yeah,
flashback today to Plattsburgh Air Force Base.
Oh, Conversation another time.
Something came on the radio. What was it? She's lost that love and feeling came on the radio.
Yeah, but we carried that through all the encampments. It wasn't just Plattsburgh.
No, I know, but I have a specific memory related to it. So we tried to reenact the whole scene with from Top Gun, of course, because we were.
Yeah.
That's all we love to do. We love to do that shit.
Civil Air Patrol. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to call it a night.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me, everybody.
Good
Sorry,
discussion.
Mike. I keep cutting you off.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Good discussion tonight. Yeah. Get out and vote, everyone. Be safe.
Wear a mask, please.
Wear your mask. Keep your distance. You know. Don't believe all the nutty stuff out there.
Is this going to be out before next Tuesday?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully by this week.
The requesting of people to vote may not make any sense.
All right, and also go Bears, down 3-10 right now.
And you guys got. I mean, no, your opposing teams got this in the bag.
That's right. Thanks, James. I don't know. You willed the Lakers to a championship. So.
He definitely did.
Backfired.
But he wasn't really trying to, though. That's what I'm saying. It has to be genuine, actual like, James.
I know.
That's why
getting the hat was gonna work. Didn't it?
That's why the Giants are so good.
Nobody believed you were a damn Lakers fan.
Whew. Yeah, we never got Brooks and you to give a response to the Lakers' victory.
Oh, by the way, real quick on the boys season 2, I give that season a probably a B-. I missed you guys' pod the other week. I agree with almost every point that Chris and Keith were making, although some of them were opposing. They could have done better. They tried to get another level of grotesque. It was just a little. They were disjointed. So B-, that's my grade in the season. I'm still looking forward to season 3. And to Mike, I know where Black Noir goes in the graphic novels. I don't think the show's going to go there.
No, it didn't look like that. So
no.
Yeah.
What is that though? What direction does that go?
I mean, that's a super spoiler now. Even super spoiler. But in the graphic novel, Black Noir is a clone of Homelander.
Yeah.
He's the one that actually raped and fathered the kid to set up Homelander. So he was built as like the backup plan, as Batman is to Superman in the comics.
That actually makes a lot of sense to me, to tell you the truth.
I'm sorry, Eric. Spoil Eric. Sorry, Eric. Should have went to bed already, dude.
Like, I thought he was just like a really good fighter, but like, why is he so strong? Like, abnormally.
With a nut allergy.
The nut allergy. That was hysterical, actually. That was kind of funny.
Not for me, man. Not for me. It rang home for him.
All too real.
All too real.
Like, he wasn't even trying to stop her. Like, she just like grabbed his head and like pulled his mask up and shoved the Mounds bar down his throat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I gotta get moving.
All right. Have a good night. See you later.
Hey, email. Close out, Mike.
You gotta close this out, Mike.
Right. So you can follow us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Heroes Peak. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe to our videos, and check out our audio podcasts on basically wherever you get your podcasts: Spotify, iTunes.
Also, the quick peeks. If there's any more recommendations for Netflix binge reaction by ours truly, Serena, please let us know.
Great job, Serena. Great job.
Mm-hmm.
That was a really great job.
Yes.
The youth is going to take over.
That's it.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Good night, everyone.
Vote.
Vote. Bow.